Occupational risk prevention, a key strategy for safety and well-being. Occupational risk prevention is a crucial element within any organization that aims to ensure the safety, health, and well-being of its workers. In today's modern work environment, companies must not only focus on productivity and efficiency, but also on creating safe workplace that minimizes or eliminate the danger associated with various tasks. The term occupational risk refers to the possibility of worker sufficiency and accident or illness related to the duties performed on their job. These risks can range from the more obvious ones, like falls or cuts in construction work, to more complex ones such as work-related stress or occupational disease caused by exposure to terminal or biological agents. Occupational risk prevention is not only a legal requirement to many countries but also an investment in the long-term health of employees, the operational efficiency of the company, and is substantially implementing effective preventive measures helps avoid accidents and illnesses, improve worker morale, reduce costs associated with sick leaves, and contributes to a more productive and efficient environment. Legal framework for occupational risk prevention. In most countries, occupational risk prevention legislation is highly developed. This regulatory framework requires employers to ensure the safety and health of their employees by adopting appropriate preventive measures. A key aspect of the legislation is the identification and assessment of risk. Companies must conduct regular assessment to identify potential hazards in the workplace, evaluate the severity of associated risk, and determine the necessary action to eliminate or minimize them. This includes not only physical hazard but also psychological factors such as stress or workplace harassment, which can significantly affect employee mental and emotional health. One risk are identified control measures must be implemented. This can include replacing dangerous equipment with safe alternatives, providing workers with proper training, marking hazardous areas, supplying personal protective equipment, and designing safe work procedures. Additionally, the law often requires employers to provide access to occupational health service and keep records of work-related accidents and illnesses. Main types of occupational risk. Occupational risks can be classified into several categories, each requiring different prevention strategies. Below are the most common types of risks in the workplace. 1. Physical risk. These include exposure to factors such as noise, vibration, extreme temperatures, radiation, and hazardous machinery. For example, a factory worker may be exposed to high noise level that could cause hearing loss over time if proper measures are not taken. 2. Chemical risk. This risk results from contact with or inhalation of hazardous chemicals such as gases, vapor, or dust. Workers in laboratories or chemical industries may come into contact with toxic or corrosive substances, which can lead a long-term illness if proper protective equipment is not used. 3. Biological risk. This refers to exposure to biological agents such as viruses, bacteria, fungi, or parasites, which can cause infection or disease. This type of risk is particularly relevant in sectors such as healthcare or agriculture, where workers may be exposed to pathogens. 4. Ergonomic risk. This area related to poor posture, repetitive movements, or lifting heavy loads, which can cause musculoskeletal injuries in office, factories, or warehouse. Poor ergonomic practice can lead to chronic issues such as back pain, carpal tunnel syndrome, or joint injuries. 5. Physiological risks. These are factors that affect the psychological well-being of the worker. Issues like stress, work overload, harassment, or lack of control over the job can lead to mental health problems like anxiety or depression. These risks are thought less tangibly, are equally important and must be managed appropriately. Occupational risk prevention strategies. For effective occupation risk prevention, it is essential to adopt a comprehensive approach that combines several strategies. Some of the most common ones include: 1. Risk assessment. This is the first step in any prevention strategy. It involves identifying potential hazards in the workplace, evaluating their severity, and determining who may be at risk. Based on this assessment, specific action plans can be designed to mitigate the identified risk. 2. Training and education. One of the most powerful tools for preventing accidents is training. Workers must receive ongoing training on the risks they are exposed to, how to properly use personal protective equipment, and what measures to take in an emergency. Education is a key to fostering a culture of prevention. Safe workplace 3. Safe workplace design. A well-designed workplace can significantly reduce risk. This includes everything from the proper arrangement of furniture to prevent falls or trips to the installation of ventilation systems that reduce exposure to toxic substances. 4. Personal protective equipment (PPE). When it is not possible to completely eliminate a risk, the use of personal protective equipment is essential. This can include helmets, gloves, goggles, hearing protection, and masks. Among others, it is important that employees understand the importance of using them correctly and that the equipment is in good condition. Health monitoring. In some cases, 5. Health monitoring. In some cases, it is necessary to conduct periodic health checks on employees to detect possible illnesses related to their work. This is especially important in an environment where there is exposed to chemical or biological agents. Fostering a safety culture. Occupational 5. Fostering a safety culture. Occupational risk prevention should not be seen as a task exclusively from manager or supervision. It is essential to foster a culture where all employees feel responsible to their own safety and that of their colleagues. This includes proactive hazard identification, open communication about risk, and participation in the continuous improvement of safety protocols. Benefits of occupational risk prevention. Implementing a solid occupational risk prevention strategy other significant benefits for both employees and the company as a whole. Some of the main benefits include reduction of accidents and illnesses. One of the most obvious advantages is the decrease in work-related accident and occupational disease. This not only protects the health of employees but also reduces costs associated with sick leave, compensation, and material damage. Improved productivity. Safe and healthy work environment contribute to greater motivation and efficiency among employees. When workers feel protected and valued, they tend to be more productive and make fewer mistakes. Legal compliance. Complying with occupational risk prevention regulations not only avoids legal penalties but also protects the company reputation. Organizations that prioritize safety are often seen as responsible and ethical employers. Better work environment. A safe and healthy workplace promotes a more positive and atmosphere, reducing stress level and improving relationships among employees. A good work environment is key to retaining talent and reducing staff turnover. Conclusion. Occupational risk prevention is a undisputed priority in today's business environment. It not only protects the health and well-being of employees but also contributes to the operational efficiency and sustainability of the company. Throughout risk assessment, training, safe workplace design, and fostering a safety culture, organization can minimize hazard and create safer and more productive work environment. Investing in prevention not only avoids human tragedies but also enhances the company's long-term competitiveness and reputation. Question and answer. First, why is occupational risk prevention important in companies? Occupational risk prevention is essential because it protects the health and safety of employees, which in turn reduces the likelihood of work-related accidents and occupational disease. A company that invests in prevention not only complies with current legislation but also improves worker morale, reduces costs associated with sick leave, and increases producing. Additionally, prevention helps creating a positive and responsible work environment, enhancing the organization's reputation in market. 2. What are the main types of occupational risk? There are several types of occupational risk. The most common being physical risk, such as noise or extreme temperatures. Criminal risk, exposure to hazardous substances. Biological risk, contact with pathogens. Ergonomic risk, poor posture or repetitive movement. And physiological risk, stress or workplace harassment. Each of these risks requires a specific prevention measure to adequately protect workers. 3. What role does risk assessment play in occupational prevention? Risk assessment is fundamental to any prevention strategy as it allows for the identification and analysis to hazard prevents in the work environment. Based in this assessment, the company can implement corrective or preventive measures to minimize risk. Additionally, risk assessment must be an ongoing process as workplace conditions can change over time, and it is important to adapt prevention measures to this change. 4. Who does training and education contribute to occupational risk prevention? Training and education are key tools for ensuring that employees understand that the risk they are exposed to and the necessary measures to protect themselves. Throughout training, workers gain skills and knowledge about the correct use of personal protective equipment, hazard identification, and emergency response regular training or foster safety culture where all employees feel responsibility for their own safety and that of their colleagues. 5. What are the long-term benefits of a good occupational risk prevention policy? The long-term benefits solid occupational risk prevention policy include reducing accidents and illnesses, increasing productivity, improving the work environment, and complying with legal regulation. Companies that prioritize safety tend to more competitive and attractive to employees, leading to lower staff turnover and greater job satisfaction. Additionally, a good prevention policy strengthens the company image as responsible and ethical employer.